long time no see. Me and Derek are out in the shop today. I was sitting there kind of bored and started walking around and looking at all the endless piles of junk we have. So we were looking over all the piles of junk that we have, and for some reason I woke up this morning and I was like, I want to build a trike. I don't know why. I've been seeing videos of people building them out of even pallets online. And I was thinking, well, we got stuff laying around. Let's see what we can So I do have this old chopper frame I got from a buddy years ago. This is probably like 7 years ago, and it's just been sitting outside getting weathered. And I started looking. I did a couple of measurements on top of what little four-wheelers we had laying around outside. We do have this Bombardier that's been sitting out back just as long, if not longer, as that frame in there. So me and Derek just said, fuck it. We came out here. We went ahead and pulled out the rear axle. And we got it out on the lift. The brakes are seized up, so we're in the process of trying to get them. Here's our axle. Now, guys, me and Derek are no fabricators by any means. I'm talking maybe 2 times I've ever tried to weld. Derek says he has a little bit better experience than I do, so we're just kind of see if we have to fabricate. But looking at the actual size of the swing arm fitment into the swing arm, or into the frame on the chopper, it looks like it's going to fit almost perfectly. Now, the only thing I'm unsure of is the axles actually lining up and being the right diameter. So we're going to see how this goes. Alright guys, we have gotten the old shock off. We got the old axle out. I had to drill out these holes just a little bit to see about the new axle fitting. I'm kind of hoping by the time I get this axle onto the frame that we can just kind of boop up there. So we'll see how it goes. Alright guys, the rear end is swapped. There's a couple things we're gonna have to adjust. We're gonna have to like shim down this bolt a little bit to make it fit all the way flat on the mount, and the shock ended up working, but is slightly cattywampus. As you can tell, it's a little offset compared to the axle, so we may have to find a way to adjust that. We may have to just cut off that bracket and then re-weld it over a couple inches. We'll see how that goes. The forks installed. We still got to get the handlebars and the front tire on. We kind of want to do a crazy paint scheme with this thing, and no, we are not going to do it the right way as far as prepping or anything. We're just going to get some rattle can, hit it, and make it look ridiculous. That's the goal we're going for. So stay tuned to see what it looks like. Here she is. You can see we got some overspray with some gold rims. We decided to leave the forks, you know, the chrome. We got red on the frame. Derek wanted to go with the pink spring, and the axle is now blue. Looks pretty ridiculous. If you guys are wondering what might be powering this, we have a 212cc, I believe it's a Briggs & Stratton engine, and this thing has never been ran. It came out of this. My dad picked this up 4 or 5 years ago for a couple $100. Some dude had put this motor in this Ninja 250, so that his son could learn to ride it around the yard, but it never got finished, and we haven't done anything with it. And the only reason my dad bought this was to fix Michaela's Ninja 250, which is in the back of the shop. Alright guys, so the motor didn't fit perfectly in here. It was kind of cattywampus, so now we're building this plate to kind of put in here. We already got the guide holes for the motor, and it should line up a lot better. The plate is now mounted. It's pretty secure. Now we just gotta figure out where to mount the motor. The pilot holes are not gonna work because given where the sprocket is, we're gonna have to kind of set the motor more towards the right side of the bike. So we're waiting for our angle grinder to charge so we can cut these off, because these are gonna be in the way of the motor once we set it on there. And then we can start mounting it. All right guys, the motor is mounted. We are now running the throttle cable. To the parts store. First I'm gonna go grab me some coffee because I'm tired. So last you guys saw that I was working on that Predator motor. I did not have a chain for it. We are having issues with the spark plug boot. It was previously broken, and that was before me and Derek even decided to get the motor out of the Ninja 250. So we got to get that fixed. We tried starting it and it just nothing. So as of right now, I need a chain. So I got the old chain right here. Hopefully I can go to the parts store and match it up. Hopefully the gearing coming off of the Predator motor will work. When I was looking at it, I think it'll work. Starting fluid, and after that we got to fix that sorry, brain fart. We got to fix the boot for the spark plug. Then we should hopefully be able to get it to fire. After that, me and Derek are going to try to figure out how to mock up a fuel tank. And I don't know what those options are. We have tanks laying around the property that we could probably use, but we're also going to have to fabricate that to work. I even thought about running to, because we don't have a seat, thought about running to Walmart and just grabbing like a block of foam and getting out there with a knife and shaping it. Maybe even get like a cheap little piece of leather. I don't know how to sew, but figured it shouldn't be too hard to try to sew it onto something. I don't know. I've never seen a chicken in the road. That's not a chicken. So apparently, AutoZone did not have a chain. They did not have any spark plug boots. Unless I got a high performance pack for $42 and it had 8 of them, which I don't need. So they came in clutch with the starting fluid. Need to run over here to Advanced Auto to see if they had it. Nobody has a single spark plug boot or a chain. Or are they saying they could just order one for some reason? They're not even attempting to look. So I'm going over to Tractor Supply. Don't know why I didn't think to just go there first, because most likely they're gonna have what I need. Well guys, went to Tractor Supply, got a chain. It's a little bit bigger than what I was looking for, but they didn't have exactly what I needed, so I figured I'm gonna try it out. Might have a little slop in there, but I can always return it. And nobody seems to have a spark plug boot. You know, I'm not gonna give up just yet. I think I'm gonna go run over to Walmart and see what they have. Surely somebody has a single spark plug boot for a little small engine. Walmart did not have the spark plug boot. Got this, some sewing stuff, some fabric material to make a seat for the 3-wheeler. And last stop, only parts store that is left open today, which is right up the road. I stopped to get myself some lunch. I'll go up to O'Reilly's and see if they have the spark plug boot. If not, turn into Amazon, because they always come in clutch. Well guys, looks like O'Reilly's was a saving grace. Got what we need right here. Should be able to make it work with this kit. It's a little expensive. I paid 20 bucks for this, but they have all the ends that I need, and there's extra wire here if need be for a later project. Let's get home and get working on it. At the shop, we're going to start messing with the 4-wheeler, see if we can get a lot of these things knocked out today from parts that I have received. See how it goes. I got the spark plug boot put on. I did have to do a little bit of soldering to kind of make a really secured connection. I don't know if it works. I haven't actually pulled it out yet and tried to see if we're getting spark. But right now I'm going to start working on getting that chain and see if it's even going to fit. If not, I'm going to have to take it back because it was expensive. So, see how it goes. Well, guys, I keep getting lucky. My dad happened to have a chain upstairs that worked perfectly. I did have to kind of add a couple of links to it, so I cut up an old chain and found an extra master link. I think I'm going to be able to make it work. I hope. We will see. All right, guys, the chain is on. Got it properly tensioned. It's a little loose still, actually. I might have to go back in and adjust that again. I am noticing that the gear up here sits fine at some spots, but as it starts to go, it does not catch properly. So, gonna have to change that. I went and bought this foam. I'm gonna attempt to make a seat out of it. I even got some fabric to try and like sew on around it. I don't know how this is gonna go. I don't know the proper way to actually do this. I've never sewn, but well, that's not true. I've sewn a couple of things when I was younger. I'm trying to do this on a budget, and obviously this is a very unique frame. I'm not going to find a seat that's actually going to work for it, so I'm just going to see what I can come up with here. There she is. I don't know exactly how I'm gonna keep this mounted, but it actually fits in there pretty snug. Alright, so now that that's all done, I think I'm gonna try to rig up this weird fender onto the front here. Get like a side angle. I don't know. I kind of want it to look goofy. Got the headlight mounted, got the fender mounted. It looks kind of cool in my opinion, but also it still looks extremely goofy all at the same time. I like it. So guys, I got the motor to turn over for a second by spraying some starting fluid inside of the carburetor. And I sprayed a good bit and it ran for a couple of seconds and died out. But I also noticed that there was like a vacuum in the fuel and it wasn't wanting to drain into the carburetor. But as soon as I pulled it off of the carburetor, fuel wanted to start dumping out from the gas tank. So I took it off, opened it up. It looks like somebody had this open in the rain at some point. You can see in there, I mean, you can see all the residual just on my finger, but it does not look good. And if you look inside the carburetor itself, pretty freaking nasty. All right, guys, off camera, I put the carburetor back together and I was able to get it to run, again, only with the ether. It is taking fuel in now, but it's still not running under, it's still not wanting to run unless I'm spraying the ether in it. Unfortunately, I can't do more of a deep clean on this because I don't have the tools to take apart a small carburetor, and I would be soaking it, but until I get some little screwdrivers to take care of it, and because of that rust, I think a lot of that is seized. So this is going to be part 1 of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And thank you for watching.